Today, the three attributes that I'm going to talk about are inspired through Jeffrey Gitomer's Little Red Book of Selling. I think it's very important that we continuously learn throughout our growth as entrepreneurs. So I have three attributes that I think that you're definitely going to enjoy. And I hope that when you watch this, that you take it with you and that you practice it. So I'll just go ahead and get started. The first attribute is going to be that one, you believe in yourself. Not only you believe in yourself, but you believe in what you're selling and you believe in your company. So those things are so important. Believing in yourself is something that I feel we do and then we don't do at the same time. It's weird. I think that we have clearly enough to believe in ourselves to even have the idea that we're going to do something or that we can accomplish something. But then if we hit a brick wall or we hit a bad opinion or we see ill-spoken comment or we hear things said about us or it doesn't work as fast as we thought it was, I think we can begin to build on some self-doubt. But believing in yourself at any cost, banking on you. It's a thought process that no matter how long it takes me, no matter how many times I fail, no matter how embarrassed I become, no matter who laughs at me, I still believe in myself because at the end of the day, I am all that I have. So it's having like a really big belief in yourself and not, I can believe in myself if I have this help. I believe in myself if I have this. It's not conditional. It's just, I know I am capable. For me, like I like to go by the principle of saying, if I see so-and-so does it, I know I can do it. And I think that it sounds so crab in a bucket. It can come off a little bit competitive, but I think it's a great foundation. And at the end of the day, whatever it takes for you to believe in yourself, as long as you're not being unethical or hurting people, then just have that belief system. But for me, it's like if so-and-so can do it, then it's proven it can be done, so I can do it. So there's a pathway to it. It's been discovered, so therefore I can live in that world as well. So believing in yourself is going to be important. And in this book, something that the author Jeffrey Gitomer says, and he says, consider not what money you can make, but what money you can earn. And from an entrepreneur's perspective, especially as being in the pole studio business, if you're going to do this and you're going to do it big and you're going to do it full time, you have to transition to that thought process to say, I'm going to earn money. There's a different pressure that you have when you walk into a job and you have a pay schedule and I'm getting paid this day, this day, this day, versus I might get paid as long as I make this, this, and that. So there's a different level of pressure, and that different level of pressure does require you to have a stronger belief system in your abilities to create something people are going to like, in your abilities to frame it in a way people understand it, in your abilities to present good value, in your abilities for them to be able to come on. And so that's one thing that, I want you to take with you. If you have a desire to tackle something today that maybe you've never done before, you carry that belief with you when you start and there's nobody there. When you start and not a single sale is made. When you start and nobody is liking or resharing or posting. As long as you continue to believe in yourself, then you will sell yourself as time goes forward. Because when you believe in something, right, you don't give up on it. When you believe in something, you continue to invest in attention into it. And when you don't believe in it or you don't think it's really going to work, you might half-ass it. So believing in yourself is going to be the number one step as far as an attribute of success. Of course, believing in your company and believing in what you offer. Way back when Donald Trump had that show, I don't even remember what it was called, but it was a reality show that he had. And I remember he had people coming in front of him. And I remember he fired some guy because the guy was supposed to be selling something. And he said, if you don't believe in what you're selling, you can't sell it. And I just remember that, and it's always stuck with me. And I think it's impeccably true. If you don't believe in what you're selling, if you have doubts about it, if it's not quite at a level that you think people will buy, you got to fix that, because people that are buying can see straight through it. If you're not a believer in what you produce, why do I want it? So you have to believe in your product. And if you don't believe in it, then take the steps that you need to take to get it to where it's believable. And maybe you're being too hard on yourself. So I do want to put that out there. Maybe you're being too hard on yourself. Maybe you're being a perfectionist. Maybe you're thinking, I have to arrive at perfection for it to be be good enough. So maybe you have to put a different set of glasses on and take a look at it and say, well, who is my product or service good for now at this level? Because if you notice, if anybody's ever seen like a limited time edition or ever went to a brand new company that just started and you walk in there and you get a service and then you go back 3 months later or 6 months later and you go and frequent them, you'll see changes. Why? Because the way they started, they perfected the process. They made modifications and small incremental changes along the way to create a better experience or a better product. But the thing is, they got started and then they used the feedback that they were getting from their patrons to decide which way they wanted to go. So that's something that I want you guys to be aware of. I think is super helpful is, believing in yourself, believing in what you're selling or what you're offering, but also not being too hard on yourself, right? No one will ever reach the pinnacle of perfection on earth. No one will. And then, believe in your brand. Like, don't be timid. Don't be shy. Don't feel like, well, I don't have any followers. I don't have anybody that's purchased. I don't have anything to show. If you have a brand, if you have an idea, you have something to show. Every single thing that we have in our life right now, everything started as an idea. Think if somebody said, well, I don't want to put this out there until I have people to appreciate it. We wouldn't have anything. So that segues me into the second attribute that I'll cover today as far as what makes you successful, and that's the people. Because again, it's like a dichotomy, like we need people, but then we don't need to focus on people. So it's this thing where, one, you have to be careful with your ideas. You have to be careful with your belief, right? You have to be careful with the way that you feel and think about yourself and who you mention it to and who you put yourself around. And I'm just going to talk to you about my experience. So when I started my pole company, and I remember specifically having one individual that I was like, I'm not telling this person that I'm doing what I'm doing until I've gotten out of the infancy phase. I remember that specifically because this person's feedback was valuable to me. This person, the way they thought about me, I knew could really affect me. I knew could really hit home and maybe cause me to be a little tipsy in different ways that I ran my business, or just be back here in my head, everything I did. So I said, I'm specifically not telling this individual. I'll tell her when I start, getting the hang of things. I recognized that I was in the infancy phases of what I was doing. And so when I finally did tell her what I was doing as far as running a pole studio, there was nothing you could say because I've already proven it to be true. And so my point to you is the people around you, right? Every one of us has a scale of people around us. Some people's opinion matters. Some people's don't. Some people, it would mean the world to us if they just said, I'm proud of you. I support you. I believe in you. I see this in you. I see your potential. I see where you can go. That right there sparks a fire in us. And if you don't have those people around you, then you need to have those people around you when you're going into success, when you're pursuing an avenue that's tougher than the average, maybe 9 to 5 in a cushy job. You need to make sure that you're not putting yourself in an environment that you would be eaten alive, where there's vultures that see your infancy state, that see that you haven't yet got the experience that you need, that will just tear you down. You got to be cautious of that. And you have to be cautious of people that make it known that they're that way and people that don't make it known that they're that way. Because there are some people around you that might appear to have your best interest at heart and they don't. Or there are always those people around you that as long as you're at the level that you're on, you're a favorite of theirs. But if you grow just a little bit more, now they're looking at you crazy. So watch people. And on this road to success, know that people change. People change. And I don't mean the person changes. I mean the people around you change. They change seats. They might be demoted. They might be promoted. So my point to you is when you're on this path road of success, you have to pick your people wisely. And you have to do constant evaluations of the people in your circle because people change. People change internally and people change physically, meaning they switch seats. And you have to be able to adjust accordingly. As a matter of fact, there is a rule in business saying hire slowly, fire quickly. Don't put all your trust in people instantly. Have a system in how people can get close to you, because the people matter. Which also, to my point, says if you want to be successful and there's no successful people that you talk to on a daily basis, then you need to find some. That means mentors. That means people that have the life that you want to live, that have done the things that you want to do, that has experienced the things that you want to experience. Those are mentors. You need to make sure that you have some of those in your corner. 1, 2, 3, a mentor for each type of experience that you want to have in life. If you want to have a strong marriage, you need a marriage mentor. If you want to have, a super fit body, then you need a physically fit mentor. If you want to pursue a certain lane in business, then you need a business mentor. When I started, it was very difficult for me to find a mentor, so what I did was, I took courses and I found YouTubers and things like that, people that resonated with me, that I believed in what they said, that I thought that they were super ethical, that I felt like they were doing things for the right reasons and for the good and benefit of those that followed them. And so they became my virtual mentors, and they didn't know that. And now I am a mentor to people as well. So your circle of people that you socialize with, that you divulge information to, that you learn from, should be chosen very wisely. You should take your time in choosing them. And then when something goes awry, then you need to go ahead and make adjustments as needed quickly. So the last tip of the day that I'm going to cover is learning. Learning is, as an attribute of successful people, is going to be so key. Learners are earners. So if you don't take time every day to learn something, and you're operating off of old wisdom from like 4 years ago, and you're not adjusting, that's what happens when you get lost and you don't have a way to pivot. So when COVID happened and you've seen a lot of businesses go under, they weren't able to pivot. They didn't learn how to do if this happened. Like, how do I do this if this happens? Like, knowing a little bit about everything is a really good resource to have. So you want to be a learner. You want to dabble in a little bit of everything and what your niche is. So if you're a business owner, you want to know about HR, you want to know about IT, you want to know about sales, you want to know about finance, like taxes and stuff like that. You want to know about marketing. You want to know about a little bit of everything, especially as a startup entrepreneur. And here's why. Because when you first get started, you might not have a lot of capital to spend on high level hired help. Sometimes you're going to end up hiring somebody that's a willing vessel, that has basic knowledge, that's willing to learn and grow with you, and they turn into be phenomenal. Sometimes you're going to hire someone that says that they know how to do things, and you hire them and you're trusting them because you don't know anything about it, and they're actually detrimental to your brand. What I mean is, knowing a little bit about everything and what you're doing helps you to stay guarded and to know when things are out of place. If you don't know anything about marketing, nothing at all, you know nothing, not even superficial, super level things, how will you know if that person is doing their job? If you know nothing about a website, nothing at all, you know nothing about SEO, you know nothing about code, you know nothing about ranking, you know nothing about labeling photos, you know nothing about copy, you know nothing at all, how will you know if your website is optimized for your business, and if that really is the reason why people are coming and not buying at your website? So being ongoing learners is going to make you not only earn, but also help you keep your money in your pocket. So definitely I would encourage you to learn. And here's the thing is, okay, Coach T, do you just go out and just start randomly picking things to learn from? I would say this: go to the places that are your pain points right now, places that you're struggling with, pain points, whether that's organization, whether that's staff relationships, whether that's social media marketing, YouTube marketing. Drill down and then go learn. Go take a few quick courses, go read a quick book, listen to an audio book, watch a YouTube, take notes, and then implement something and see if it works. When things came out on social media with Reels or TikToks, like, there was a lot of people that didn't know. So follow people that know about it and learn from them. That's how you progressively get better. To sit in a seat of success is to learn your way there. So in close, guys, Jeffrey Gitomer Gitomer's Little Red Book of Selling. I just covered 3 out of his 18 and a half points of what are the attributes and characteristics of a successful person. And I did it in my own terms. These were using some of my own experiences. But again, number 1 was believe in yourself, your company, and your brand. Number 2 was choosing your people wisely. And number 3 was being an ongoing learner. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Leave a message for me in the comment box. If you did, make sure that you follow my page and share it with someone you think can use it. And I just want to invite you guys to follow me on YouTube. I want you to click the button in my bio and sign up for my newsletter where I give more detail on different topics. And if you're in the place where you're ready to grow, you want to start a pole dance studio, you want to add poles to an existing dance studio or a gym, if you need help with your pole dance studio, your sales aren't cutting it, your people aren't cutting it, your branding isn't cutting it, you just are lost, you need a little help, schedule a session with me. I would love to speak to you, love to get to meet you, love to learn about your business, and maybe come love to visit. So again, I'm Coach T signing off. Thank you so much. I am the Polepreneur, and I appreciate you watching.